let's talk about another very important role played by cross-functional team approach. Think about the general project, not just new product development. Think about some construction or shipbuilding or any type of project. So this is project time, and I want to focus on two things. The first one is how easy it is to fix the problem. If there is problem, we got to fix the problem, right? We got to fix the problem. And how easy is it to fix the problem? Is it easy to fix the problem in the early period of project time, or is it easy to fix the problem toward the end of the project time? It is obvious that if we find out the problem, if we identify the problem in the early phase of project time, then it's easy. It's easier to fix the problem, right? On the other hand, if we approach the end of a project time, if we identify problem, it's difficult to fix the problem. Think about this construction. We want to build a new big building. We construct a big building. If we find some fundamental problems at the early stage, in the early phase of this construction, we can actually fix the problem very easily. We can change work procedure. We can use different materials, and we can change this sequence of tasks and so on and so forth. But let's say that we are approaching the end of project time, and therefore the building is already the final floor, maybe 50th floor is all done, and everything is almost done, and suddenly we realize that we forgot to install some steel beams in the building. So what can we do? We already completed all these outside and inside interiors and exteriors of the building, and now you say that you forgot to put more steel beams, and without knowing that we cementing all these things and we completed all these buildings. And now what can you do? We cannot fix the problem. We already done this whole building. So the flexibility, or let's say ease, right? Ease to fix the problem is largest, the highest in the early period, and it becomes almost impossible to fix the problem. Now look at another thing. Management attention, or cost to fix the problems. The cost is relatively low, right? Relatively low in the early period, and then the cost is very expensive in the towards end of this project, and that's consistent with this ease to fix problem or flexibility to fix the problem. But I want to more focus on this management on attention or location patterns. Traditionally, time management pays more attention as the project approaches completion time. Maybe many managers probably don't care much about the project in the early phase, because let's again think about this construction, building construction, and raw materials and parts, and here and there people are moving all around, and everything looks disorganized, incomplete, and therefore the top manager doesn't want to get involved in this highly complex, highly complicated situation. So they don't want to pay more attention. After all, they cannot see any building yet. But as the floors rising, and as the building takes its shapes, it looks more important, it looks more relevant, and then managers start paying more and more attention. So their attention allocation pattern, let's say this is attention allocation pattern, is like this. Okay, early phase, not much attention, but towards the end of project, much attention. But that's not good. I mean that it's useless to pay more attention at the end of project time because it's too late to fix problem. Even if you pay more attention to the project, you cannot fix those problems. In other words, there is huge mismatch between management attention allocation and the flexibility to fix the problems or the ease of problem solving. What's the benefit? What's the good thing to use cross-functional team approach? Cross-functional team approach helps the company to reallocate this management attention allocation. In other words, don't pay your attention at the end of the project. You have to actually change. You have to actually change this attention allocation pattern. In other words, you move this like that. In other words, you pay more attention. You pay more attention in the early phase of your project time, and you don't have to pay much attention toward the end of project time. And therefore, you have to have a new management attention allocation pattern that actually consistent with this flexibility or easy to fix problems. They gotta be match, or they gotta be consistency between this problem solving and the attention allocation. Cross-functional team approach is useful to shift this attention allocation patterns. Why? Because in the early phase, lots of functions get involved in the process, and it becomes very important to coordinate all these activities at the same time, and therefore that necessarily draws more attention from top management. And therefore, if the company uses cross-functional team approach, then they necessarily pay more attention in the early phase because they need to coordinate. Coordination is very intensive, is very high in the early phase of this project time. So actually that's another role, very important role, which is not discussed often, which is not easy to identify actually, but actually that's very important thing. So I would say cross-functional team approach actually enhances the awareness level at the early stages, and this is a very important point. And that's another reason why we can get benefit from using cross-functional team approach. It is also interesting to note that if the technological uncertainty and if the market uncertainty is very high, then the benefit due to this match between problem solving and attention allocation is much larger. And again here, if the technological uncertainty, market uncertainty is very high, then it's much more beneficial to use cross-functional team approach rather than traditional approach.